Do something for me right now. Open your phone. Open whatever AI that you use. I know you have one. Just Chat GPT, maybe Claude, Gemini, Grok, whatever. Scroll through your history for a little bit, especially while I'm talking here. It's fine. You can catch up. You can even pause the video. Scroll through those chats. Look at what you've told it. The types of information, maybe your worries about the future, maybe issues with your relationships, maybe deep philosophical insights about yourself that you would never tell anybody else. Really take the time and look. Your business ideas, insecurities, medical questions, the 2 a.m. draft of a message that you were scared to send to her or to him, the time you asked it whether or not you should quit your job or go to college like your parents want you to. Now ask yourself one question. Where did all of that go? Not the answers, the questions, your questions, the raw, unfiltered map of everything happening inside of your head that you're dumping into the AI. That exists. And you handed it to a stranger for free. And nobody ever told you to think twice about that. My name is Caleb. And what I'm about to tell you changed the way that I see every single piece of technology on the planet. Early in my career, I worked in environments where information wasn't just valuable, it was dangerous. Where the wrong person seeing the wrong detail at the wrong time could cost lives. Real lives, not metaphorical, not hypothetical. That's the military. And in those environments, there's a principle that governs everything. Every conversation, every system, every decision. It's called compartmentalization. The idea is really simple in this case. Information only flows from people who need it to execute their specific task to other people who get the job done. That's it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how important you think you are. You can be the president. And in some cases, if you're not in that chain of necessity, you're not even briefed. If you don't need it, you don't get it. That's not paranoia. It's how the military does business. It's engineering. It's how you build systems that don't collapse when one piece gets compromised. It's a safeguard. Because pieces always get compromised. People make mistakes, systems get hacked, employees go rogue, companies get acquired. The question isn't if something breaks, it's how much damage can it do when it does. I spent years inside of that architecture, right? I've watched it work, I've internalized it. It became the lens through which I see everything. And then I go home, open my laptop, and watch brilliant people, founders, creatives, strategists, pour their most sensitive thinking into a chat box owned by a company whose entire business model depends on harvesting human behavior, client lists, pricing strategies, legal vulnerabilities, personal fears, into a system with zero compartmentalization, zero access controls, zero boundaries whatsoever. And the biggest part of this is you guys agreed to it. It's literally right in their terms of service. You agree that they get your data. You have to if you want to use the product. It's implied consent. I've seen 27-year-olds in high-pressure operational environments handle information better and more carefully than Fortune 500 CEOs, executives handle their AI prompts. Not because those 27-year-old, goofballs are smarter, right? But because somebody taught them that architecture. Nobody ever taught you how to use AI. That's not your fault. But after today, it should be your choice. I'm going to show you guys what's really happening because it's worse than you think. For 20 years, the internet ran on the attention economy. Companies fought for your eyeballs, your clicks, your scrolling time. They built algorithms that kept you glued to a screen for 9 more seconds so they could sell you one more ad. That was bad enough. But now, AI has flipped the entire table. We are now, and I don't think enough people have caught up to this yet, we are now living in the intention economy, not attention, intention. The attention economy captured what you looked at, right? Your views on a video, everyone was chasing high views, more followers, past tense, already happened. The intention economy captures what you want, what you're planning, what you're gonna do, what you're building, what you're afraid of in real time before you've even done anything about it. Because why wait until after somebody's processed their thoughts to hit them with an ad, to target their behavior, to take advantage of it? Hit them before they even know what the emotion is. Be there at the moment of decision. Every prompt you type is a declaration that can be pieced apart about your intent. And the intent that ChatGPT knows this, is the most valuable data that has ever existed. A venture capitalist types analyze this biotech startup valuation. Their AI now knows exactly what deal they're looking at before they even made a simple phone call. And entrepreneur types write a pitch deck for my company that does X. They might not have ever said that publicly, but their AI now knows exactly why their product exists and what it is before the market might, before a single line of code is even written. And if it's good enough, they have the right to use it. And lawyer types draft a strategy for this custody case. Their AI now holds the vulnerabilities in someone's legal position that could one day be exploited against them for the right price, for the right opportunity, for the right connection to the company. A creator types plan a consistent content strategy around this niche that I do. Their AI now knows the market gap before anybody else does if they've already seen success. And all of it lives in the servers that you don't control, governed by terms of service you didn't read, owned by companies whose investors need a return higher than when they invested. That is the single greatest information asymmetry in human history. And most people scrolling their phones right now watching this video don't even know it's happening. Here's where this gets personal. There was a night, I remember it very clearly too, sitting at my desk after a long day using an AI tool, I think we all know which one, to think through something important to me. A business concept that I've been turning over for months. And I was talking to it too, right? Voice to voice. In mid-sentence, I kind of stopped because an instinct kicked in. The training that I've spent years absorbing, right, military-wise, the questions that are supposed to come before you share OPSEC information, not after. Who gets access to this? Where does this go when I hit send? What happens if the system is breached? What happens if the company gets acquired? What happens if an employee goes rogue or decides to look at my data? What happens if this gets subpoenaed and made public? And I realized I had no answers to any of those questions. The most important strategic thinking I've ever done, my actual plans to make my life real the way I want, were sitting on someone else's database, governed by someone else's policies that could change, controlled by someone else's financial incentives that weren't aligned with mine. I was violating every single principle I'd spent years learning to uphold and keep secret. So I started building nights, weekends, the margins between everything else. Not because I had free time, I really didn't, but because the alternative was unacceptable. I built an AI that works fundamentally differently from this. Not smarter, not faster, not more parameters or better benchmarks. An AI that's yours. I call it Nova. Nova doesn't just answer questions like chat, right? It executes. Tell it your plan and tell it to plan maybe your week around, 3 priorities, let's say. It'll go out and actually build the calendar. Tell it to draft a business proposal. It writes it, it formats it, and it sources it. Tell it to analyze your spending. It finds the leaks, shows you the cuts, and then actually goes and cancels subscriptions for you. That's a whole subscription I know people pay for just with Rocket money. Tell it to manage your content pipeline. It schedules, drafts, and tracks your performance. But here's what changes everything. Nova doesn't report back to anyone. There's no training pipeline harvesting your direct inputs. There's no investor deck bragging about billions of data user points. There's no page 47 in a terms of service that says, we may share some anonymized data with our partners. Your data stays with you, period. Because I built it the way secure systems that I learned about are supposed to be built. Congratulations, You're finally compartmentalized. Need to know. Your information serves you as it should, not a balance sheet. Now, of course, right? I know what some of you are thinking hearing this. I'm not that interesting. I'm not handling state secrets. Who cares if some company has my prompts? And that right there is exactly what they're counting on you to be believing. Because here's what's actually true. You are that interesting. Your ideas are that valuable. Your intentions are worth protecting. How many times have you guys been in a group team project, maybe in school, right? And you have to put your heads together to come up with an idea. A lot of times one person can't do it. But when you coagulate 7 different ideas that all have the missing pieces across millions of users and put them together, your AI figures out the best path from human ideas. Maybe not just you, but you plus this chat, plus this chat, plus that chat means that you're giving it the secret to win and to keep you on the bottom. Every small business owner who typed their competitive strategy into a chatbot, that's intellectual property. That's worth money if it's right. That's your intellectual property. That's your livelihood, your money, your net worth. Every creator who brainstormed their next concept, that's a first mover advantage you gave away. The difference between being a billionaire and being a copycat. Every freelancer who drafted a client proposal, that is proprietary pricing strategy now sitting on someone else's server. Every parent who asked advice about their kid and told it private information about their child, that's intimate. That's yours with Nova. Every person who used AI at 3 a.m. to process a difficult emotion, that is sacred, and it deserves to be treated that way. Now imagine something different. Imagine every interaction you've ever had with AI that we talked about here, maybe on your phone if you pulled it up, lived inside a vault with a locked door. Your vault, and only you have the key. And that vault doesn't just store your history, it learns from it. It gets better at helping you. Not better at training a competitor or being sold to someone else. Not better at selling targeted ads. Better at executing your life, your business, your goals. That's not a concept. That is not a pitch deck. That's not an elevator pitch. That's what we built. It's live, literally right now, today. And we built the economics 100% different too with Nova. We have a token called ALT, A-L-T. I know there's a lot of them, right? But ours is the real one, right? And the way it works is simple. Altura founded Nova. And instead of selling out our soul like different AI companies did, I'm not going to name drop, right? But making partnerships to get equity, right? So we could grow faster. I didn't want to sell our soul, nor as we scale, right? Do I want to bring in liabilities by investors looking over my shoulder, telling us what we have to do with your data. That's not my decision. It should always stay yours. So we have a token, and as we grow, we're going to try to help the token grow too. Provide utility back to you guys to use inside of Altura's website, which is our parent company, our community of people trying to improve their lives. And as the token grows, as we offer more benefits, we will use our community fund, a small percentage of that, to invest back into Nova to help us grow faster using the community's power. That means not being at the will of somebody else. It means working with you to make all of our dreams possible and keep you safe and compete with the best out there. We built, again, it different. The people who contribute to the system, the people who use it, the people who create with it and build on Nova through Altura, whether on our website or on Nova's app, those people own a piece of it, a piece of the growth. Not, in like equity stake, but in terms of progress, privacy, security, peace of mind. Because the people who build something should benefit on what they build. I didn't build Nova to beat OpenAI on just simple benchmarks. We built Nova because OpenAI was never designed to protect you. Sam Altman does not have your best interests at heart. Look into his personal life. It was designed to monetize you. And someone had to build the thing that actually puts you first. I'm not here to sell you a dream today. I'm not showing you guys mock-ups. I'm not even going to go review the product right now. Just go to usenova.live and try it yourself. I'm not promising what we're going to have someday. It's live, again, right now. You can go at usenova.live. You can go to Altura, Altura, society.com. It's in the description or wherever you're seeing this in my bio, and you can check it out. But you don't have to, because learning that there's better options might not mean you're going to switch today, but it means that you don't have to keep making the same decisions. Real people, I'm going to say, are running real businesses literally through it today, though, right now, planning their weeks, not worrying about competitors stealing that, managing content, analyzing data, making decisions, not making Google richer, not making Microsoft richer, not making OpenAI richer, because we know how much they care about us. Everyone owns their data in Nova's case, in Altura's case, because we do this for us completely. I'm not asking for your trust. I'm asking you to test it and let it sell itself. It's cheaper. Go to your website, to the usenova.live website on your phone right now. Give it one task. It's not great yet, I know, but it can execute. Plan a flight for May 31st to go to Las Vegas, right? It'll ask you questions. How many people? Do you want economy class? Whatever, right? Or pay my bill. When does it due? What's the amount? What card do you want to use? It'll actually go to that website, pay the bill, and let you know that it's done. Or schedule to pay it on Saturday, and it'll go do that too. Something you'd normally type into ChatGPT that it couldn't actually do. ChatGPT doesn't actually have a browser agent. They market themselves as it, but it's really just a series of APIs or direct connections that just forward information. They're not actually going and doing the autonomous agent stuff. They pretend like they do, but they're not. And then pay attention, if you use them, to how it feels. It's different. Come back to us and feel the difference. Pay attention to the difference between typing in a system where you know in the back of your mind that everything that is being collected benefits them, versus typing in a system where you know it stays with you, as it should always have. You don't get somebody looking into your Google search history every day. Why should somebody be looking into your AI chats that are more intimate? The shift, right? The relief, that confidence, that's sovereignty. That's what it feels like to own your digital mind. And once you feel it, you never go back. One last thing too. The technologies that matter the most in history were never built by the people you'd expect. You're expecting OpenAI to make the next great advancement. You're expecting Gemini to own the market. The internet started as a defense project, right? GPS was built so people wouldn't get lost in hostile territory. The encryption protecting your bank account right now was designed by people whose entire job was keeping secrets safe. Every breakthrough in security, in privacy, in protecting human beings from exploitation and danger, every single one came from people who understand what happens when those things fail. And they plan for it, not hope it doesn't happen. You're hoping. Everyone's hoping it doesn't happen. Let's start moving to show that we're ready when it does happen and when secrets are spilled. Nova was built by people who've seen what happens when information falls into the wrong hands. Built in the margins, built at 2 a.m., built because the alternative, surrendering your mind to a corporation, was simply not ever acceptable. Go to usenova.live. Give it one task and then decide for yourself. Do you want a screen door where somebody can see right through? Or do you want a vault that promises to protect you? I made my choice. I hope you do too.